let me ask you this, since we were on the race thing, right? Mm-hmm. And given in your profession that you're in, you know what I'm saying? What do you actually do now? I'm
a healthcare administrator.
Okay. Healthcare administrator.
Yep.
Okay, so you know about CRT, right?
Mm-hmm.
Critical race theory.
Right.
Okay. Now, I've been wanting to talk about this. This is actually from season 1 because because I mentioned it.
They were trying to cancel it or something. The lady who had wrote the book,
the 1619 Project.
Yeah, we talked about that right in season 1. Sure did.
Now, the executive, we got a very good, real executive over here as well, because he's in these type of spaces that where some of this stuff may live. But what is your perspective on the CRT?
With CRT, I think it's just a fancy title or word to figure out how they can remove information from the learning curriculum. Basically, that's because again, if we go back to I'm in school, in elementary school, man, Black history it wasn't a time you walk in a classroom, man, it's everywhere. That's how we learned about all these people. It was all over the bottom of the thing, around the chalkboard, around the room. You had all this stuff. You had a teacher that attended the HBCU. That's how you knew, because it's all over the classroom. Mm-hmm. They're subliminally giving you this information. Now, I'm old enough to know when they did the Martin Luther King Happy Birthday song. I remember that. I was in elementary school when Stevie Wonder got this song.
Okay.
They put it out there because he getting the holiday and all these things. And so I remember that I'm a little kid in elementary school. This is prominent. And so even with this, to say that it looks like they switching the game to say, we're teaching y'all about this thing, but that's too much. That makes us feel a way. That makes us, we're trying to unite. That may diversify us even more. So let's just take that part out and let's just focus on this. That way we can all better come together. That's my perspective on what I'm taking from it. Now, it ain't no all us come together. Now, this is an important piece of information that we need. What could you do if you knew you couldn't fail? I asked you that before. Like, what would you do? What would you accomplish if you knew you could not fail? These people from our past, that's what that is. That's the information that we need to know so that we don't make the same mistake. 1, 2, that we build some sense of pride. Some thing. You keep shoving in front of me these Caucasians that started this United States of America, that Ben Franklin and all these folk put this all together, and we had nothing to do with it. How you gonna feel? How would you feel like Scottie Pippen feeling right now about the Last Dance? Hey man, I put this together, man. You saying I ain't really do nothing. Now we ain't gonna get off subject. He ain't Michael Jordan, but he was instrumental. And I don't think they win one without the other. Same thing here. Everybody in this good United States of America, but we don't win if we ain't all part of it. Right? You want to deny this piece, this part of it. We wouldn't even be here. Well, I ain't even say that, because we may have wandered and ventured around. We was out discovering stuff too. We was out not discovering. We was out exploring and learning new lands too. A lot of the Moors and stuff like that. Writing maps and all this type of stuff too. We were building things. We were doing a lot of stuff. Mathematicians and engineers. We were doing stuff too. And so to deny or exclude that from history, everybody should know that. Everybody. If everything came from Africa, why not share that? Why not express that and say that? Say, hey man, look, before we get started today, everything came from Africa. Now, let's move. Now, let's talk about the rest of this.
See, and you brought that up because anybody that you know me, and anybody that follow me on social media and stuff know that my views are more, if you want to break it down politically, I'm more conservative you know what I'm saying, driven. And so, and this is, you know, this whole CRT thing has been politicized. And so if you're on the right, you know what I'm saying, you're totally against it. If you're on the left, you're for it and stuff like that. So this is more so been coined, at least in my view, as a democratic type of view. But I'm pretty much with you, what you were just saying, as far as with the CRT. And from my perspective, they're trying to make it be like, okay, you're trying to act like, you know, these white people will be, you know, feel inferior now, you know, to these, you know, black students.
There wasn't even enough information in the first place,
right?
To bring out. I was mentioning this with my daughter. We was watching that series on Emmett Till,
okay.
And so for me, that was the most, between Martin Luther King getting assassinated and Emmett Till. Those the two most influential Black history moments to me. Because as a kid, it was like, what? Somebody would do that? That you really did that? Martin Luther King, and that happened here? That's crazy. You know what I'm saying? And then my grandmother was explaining to me the Emmett Till thing. And I was like,
that was crazy,
what? And they did what to him? So I was fixated on that. I've been fixated on Emmett Till. I actually have a Jet magazine from when that happened, and his mom put that on the cover. Man, I'm
talking about his face when he.
I have that Jet magazine, bro. Like I have it at home, and so I'm looking at this, and I'm like, that was traumatic, for me to like, hey, that like growing, that happened. You know,
and then the information coming out years. I think we covered it on the podcast that she lied and all the other stuff come out.
Stuff like how did that? And again, them people never prospered. Once that news came out, and happened, then you had the audacity to publish in a magazine the details of what happened. That's some cold, but that's not that far from Memphis, Tennessee that happened. And so my grandmother's explaining this to me. So now we get into, she got older, I got older, I started asking questions like, hey, how was it when you grew up? Yeah, we had to go around the back of the thing. Yeah, we had to sit in the balcony to watch the movies, or we had to go here. So you just didn't go there. We wasn't outside at night. We didn't go here. If you saw this, we ducked and hid. Or we avoided this, and so they moved to Chicago. We went there because we were trying to get out of this and looked at it. It was exciting. It was something more. We could do something else and not be confined. It was racist there too, but you know, it wasn't at that level down south. And so that's how we all got spread it out. You know, we all got family, you know, all these different places. And so just to hear that part of, so it's important also that we share our past, that we share these. Are we hurting or harming when we withhold this information? This is a perfect example. We're gonna hide some information and not tell them. Even for my kids, I tell them stuff peace, and I ain't give it all to them kid. You know, your dad was no, I don't break that off to them. But as they experience things in life, hey man, you know this. That was what I love most about y'all dads, because your dad used to tell me about California. We ain't gonna get into that. But he was breaking down California. I was like, Mr. Brown,
that's correct. Maybe I mentioned this on this, like with my pops. Like that's the reason I became a hoe almost. I ain't gonna lie, doing my because it's like, to me, that's why I'm careful. Even how when I with my boys, how I'm going to explain to them what I used to go through and what I used to do, because when my daddy explained his lifestyle back in Cali with all the women and all, you know what I'm saying? It sounded exciting. You know what I'm saying? Like you had how many people? Like how, you know what I'm saying? It was, you know, to me it was like, but that wasn't his intent. You know what I'm saying?
He was trying to keep it real with you.
Right, he was keeping it real.
Because you didn't know how to process it.
At the age I was doing. But that was like, bro, like, dang, Dad, like, I'm with you, but I want that too. You know what I'm saying?
He was some real street stuff. He was some real street stuff. Yeah, man, we was going for someone and blah, blah, blah. I ain't going to get into that on here. And even your mom, Vic, just stuff, we had conversations. She broke it down. I was like, what?
Yeah.
Because you know my mind is on
Right.
Hey, sweet lady.
Right. That's Mr. Faye. That's Miss Faye.
I said, what? But this is in our conversation. I didn't, get into, these, but she was like, yeah, she just casually, like it wasn't casually broke it down. Oh yeah, man, I get so-and-so, and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, okay.
Yeah.
But that as the I don't even call it the humanity of these people that we see and interact with. It just puts everything in perspective. Right, put everything in perspective. And then, of course, I hold them in the utmost regard at that point. But also, they let me know, hey, man, I'm human, man. This was my walk. This is how I got here. This is how I got to this point right here.
So you basically, like, we need to know that. We need to know that. We need to know
these things. I mean, and I'm in healthcare and we need to know family history. We need to know all this stuff that we done dealt with. But we so disconnected, and critical race theory is another disconnection that everybody should know. Every student in America, if you attend school, you need to be in an African American history class.
So it don't matter whether you're black, Hispanic,
white, Hispanic, whatever. You need to have that class because that's part of America. You need to understand
the fabric of this
what's
country.
happening. Because now you don't understand people if you don't get that. Just like we understand Caucasian. I understand where you at. I ain't surprised. You ain't surprised. They do anything. You are not surprised. I'm not surprised.
Right. But we know that history, though.
There's some good folk. I love them. You know what I'm saying? I got Caucasian family members. Right. Love them to death.
Right.
I ain't talking about you right now. Right. I'm talking about ones we interact with on the outside. I ain't surprised. I know what you fit to do. I ain't just like you look at me and you go, and you probably listen to rap music and eat chicken. I do. It ain't got nothing to do with my personality. I like chicken. Chicken is good.
Everybody likes chicken.
Everybody been aggressive. I mean, getting on the free
we stayed going. That was our spot.
But that's good eating though. But
that's
I got a chain on. What?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's from my upbringing. But I mean, that's what that is. But it ain't got nothing to do with who I am.
Right.
Yeah. Oh, you see,
personally. That ain't no. We come from royalty. That's why we had this stuff. But we need to know that.
He got one on too. It's just black.
And we talking about breaking down earrings and tattoos and all this stuff. This stuff come from Africa. This stuff they ain't invent. This stuff that we did. This what we. That's what we did. That's what we looked like. That's what we did when Moses was being acclimated into Pharaoh's family. Hey man, we need you to look like us. Let's get you done up. When he was separating and he was saying, you don't need to have tattoos. You don't need to have that because we trying to separate you from the very people we trying to get you away from them. I don't need you looking like them. I don't need you doing this like them because I'm trying to show you something else.
And it wasn't about so much what they were doing as much as it was.
Exactly.
We just want you to look different.
We want you to be different, right? Because I need you to do this, be your own person. Because otherwise, if you still connected to that, you might not do what I need you to do.
Right.
You ain't gonna want to
do how we trying to move.
You ain't gonna want to do this. You ain't gonna want to step into this because you still connected to these folks. So now, I need you to be here, but this is stuff that needs to be explained. In these things, even so, as much to explain the Bible and where we fit in this, where we at in this. Because the way it's been explained to us, you would think we don't exist.
Right.
This Bible about a whole nother group of people.
Most of the people in there look like
most of the people in there look like us. So
another conversation.
The way it's being presented. Everybody been in the church, man. Where there's a statue of a white Jesus or whoever on the wall or whatnot. I grew up in Baptist churches. That's a picture.
On the
church fan, all that. Those images.
Yeah. See, you know what I'm saying? And the whole race thing too, man. I don't have to get into it as far as just race, period. As far as getting into with the church. We pretty much grew up in a black church.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And now. Right now, truth be told, where I attend now for the most part. I go to Bellevue. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And so that whole environment is a culture shock to me. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Just because, really it happened because, at the time, I was ready to get back into church and, they got a crazy good children's ministry and program. Mm-hmm. And so ours didn't. They still not open up yet. You know what I'm saying? And so I had to go somewhere to accommodate my family and stuff like that. But even looking at the stuff now, bro, like with I don't know if you saw the joint we posted up, the joint we sponsored on Facebook. You see all them comments?
Yeah.
On there, them racist comments we be getting.
But they didn't watch the video.
Right.
I was gonna tell you that.
Right.
Like, you posting all this. They did not. If they had listened to what you said,
it was a lot of
did not watch the video.
Racist comments on there. And so
they did. If they would have watched the video, they wouldn't have seen it.
Now, when I clicked on the profile, it's crazy. Most of everybody's profile was Christian. Jesus Church. Got all the, you know what I'm saying? So me, given an environment that I'm in, looking at, you know what I'm saying, at Bellevue, in which I'm still contemplating, you know what I'm saying, just being honest, like, what we're going to do. But then you looking at all the people that smile in your face and doing all this stuff, you know what I'm saying, still on the background, you know what I'm saying, still think this way of me.
You see me?
You know what I'm saying? Okay. You good? You go. You do what you do. Yeah.
I'll be right back.
Yeah. This boy gotta go get it. Man, could have went around. Yeah, but
it's the I mean, and again, I'm gonna say I ain't surprised. It's because it's things that are triggering. They're called that. Whatever you said, whatever you did, triggered when everybody's allowed their opinion, their freedom of speech, however they feel. The point where we miss it at is where everybody, society misses it, that we don't have enough understanding to hear it out. Let me know why you feel like that. Let me hear. Right. Now I will listen to that.
Yeah.
If you're a racist and you say, well, this is why, hear me out. This is why I feel like that. Man, I'm listening.
And most of the time we've had that conversation. The company I work for, what was happening early, with all the racial tension and stuff like that, like we actually had a conference call talking about that. We had different people bringing up their experiences. Mm-hmm. And, I thought it was good because now you hear with this white woman, a white man actually has to think about this. You know what I'm saying? I kind of already knew it, but then it's like it's different cultures, bro. Right. You know what I'm saying? And to where, like, getting back to even going like to Bellevue, it's you worshiping God wherever. It's really about you and how you have your relationship with God and do that. Right. But on the other side, the communion part, like, at Breath, how we do it, like we get it. Right. You know what I'm saying? And so they don't I came in this young today with this on. Right. You know what I'm saying? With this and you know what I'm saying? It's just, you got some people, a couple white people come up to me, hey man, you know what I'm saying? Like killer chain. You know what I'm saying? Hey man, that's really dope. You know what I'm saying? But they look awkward as hell, like saying that. Right. Like, you know what I'm saying? Dog, this be you. Like, I ain't acting for no fist pump. Like, you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? So it's like, but in that arena, like, I'm gonna be me, I'm gonna do me, you know what I'm saying? Speak, and it's different. Like, I like being in a different environment like that because I've never gone to a majority white church personally. Right. You know what I'm saying? So it's different, but then I'm old enough and experienced enough stuff now to where I can process that stuff different. Right. You know what I'm saying? Because if I would have did that maybe 10 years ago, it would have been a different vibe for me. But now, so I can sink it in more now.
With anybody, I can get in. I can vibe with anybody.
Right.
I can visit and be cool.
Yeah.
But I'm where I'm at for completely different reasons. But I mean, again, to each his own. It's just not my thing.
Yeah, and to me, I totally understand because honestly, personally, we talk offline, a lot. Right. Me, Rag, Vic, just about certain differences I had with what's kind of going on at our home, facility and stuff like that. But the one thing I loved greatly was how we connected at Breath and what we did and how we did it. Right. You know what I'm saying? And so in certain atmospheres, you're not gonna get that. Right. You know what I'm saying? Right. And so, but my relationship now with God is so strong to where you know, I can do what I do anywhere I want to, but then it's the extracurricular. You know what I'm saying? The certain stuff like with you, Jay Sanders, like I can hit you up and want to hang with you.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Do that. Can I do that? You know what I'm saying? Where I'm mostly going now, I haven't, you know, we haven't joined or anything like that.
Would you even try to though? That would be the would you even try that though? Would you try to connect with anybody there? And I'm talking about outside of they kids play with your kids.
Right.
I'm talking about just the guys hit me. Hey man, we're gonna roll up to such and such. Would you?
No.
Would you join?
No. That's honestly the camaraderie that we had, because you know Rachel, she been going up there for Bible study and stuff like that, and so the times that we have met with them, but because attachment with the kids,
right.
They got 3 or so kids around the same age. Right. Let's link with that. But just as far as hey bro, I'm turning 40. You know what I'm saying? Meet me. You know what I'm saying? You know, like nah. Yeah. You know what I mean? And so
have you been doing that though over there?
What's that?
Like linking up with them like that?
No, not me. Like Rachel, she has because with the kids.
Apart from it.
Oh, okay.
Like apart from it, like how you just said, like has it been? Because like how you said, like it's times he hit me up, like he put me on the Gus's.
Oh, okay.
As long as I like he and I would see it, and I'm like I ain't, and he was the one man. Listen, I'm like Gus's. He's like, bro,
you finna sit down,
right?
I mean, we hit the joint downtown. We hit the joint out in Cordell, like
right. No, and that's no to answer your question. No, and to me, that's the disconnect. You know what I'm saying? And so, you know what I mean. Like that's where, you know, I'm like, okay, this cool. I can worship God. I ain't got to worry about all this. But then afterwards, do I just, you know, I just go straight to the parking lot. You know, for the most part. You know what I'm saying? You got some people stop you and stuff like that. You know, they shake your hand, and you know, because just like at Breath, if a white person was there, they stick out like a sore thumb. Right. You know what I'm saying? So you go up, you know, hey, what's your name? You know what I'm saying? And so it's that, and so I'm processing now in real time, like for the future, what do I want or need? Because obviously you can get the word, you know, anywhere, but then there's other stuff attached spiritually to the church and stuff like that you want to be a part of that I love, you know, kind of between us. But even where we get, to me, even that's changing. That's getting different now. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And so
because y'all getting older now. So now you transitioning next stage of life with what you were getting from it in each stage is gonna be different. Each stage of your life, what you getting from the church is gonna be different. Remember, I got there as the preteen. So what I'm getting at this point is I'm learning who people are. Now we kids. Now we playing ball. We going to Pastor Hall taking us and Pastor Moss taking us on field trips, and Pastor Hall showing me how to change a tire. That's what I'm getting from it at that point. Now I transition to teenager going into adulthood and college. Now I'm getting some more pieces. I'm getting some, hey, you need to do this. You need to look at this. You need to think about this. Then I get older. I start a family. Now I'm getting these pieces. Now I got a family, got some kids. Now I'm getting children church and some other stuff. Now I'm getting involved in coaching and I'm doing some other stuff. And these different people, you getting different things as you get older from it. And so like you said, what am I needing? What am I wanting now from this? But most importantly, what am I what's going to be my output when I'm there?
Yeah.
And so even joining the board at such a young age, I set out to be different.
Game changer.
How old were you when you joined? Because you was like one of the youngest dudes.
30s. I just crossed the bridge of 30.
Yeah.
So I'm 31, 32 years old. And so now it's like, okay, this is what it looked like before. Let me bring a different perspective to it. But also, and it wasn't without some pushback.
Yeah.
But I also wanted to change. I didn't want to be in a position where I'm untouchable. I ain't approachable or untouchable. And so when people came to church, and I remember saying this to somebody, because they was like, well, you need to you need to have a suit on, Yeah, I probably should. But I kind of want to make everybody comfortable when they come here. Everybody ain't got a suit. Everybody got what they got. Wear what you got and come on. I don't want there to be a hindrance to anybody coming to this building that because I don't have, or I don't look like this, or I don't have this, I'm not coming. Yeah, I wanna be suited like Moss and them. I wanna be custom made like Pastor Holloway. I want that on too. But I'm gonna work within. I'm gonna work what I got to come in. If I don't have it, does that mean I can't? I'm less of a member. I'm less qualified. I'm not qualified to be a part of some of this stuff. And I didn't want it to be cliquish. I didn't want to feel like I'm a part of this group. I'm a part of this group. I ain't part of no group. I'm part of my group, and I can jump into each one of these groups as I choose and please.
And that's crazy. You saw that say that because that's what I peeped.
Right.
That's what you know. I knew more than you than somebody coming off the street coming into Breath. You know what I'm saying? But that's what I observe. Everything that you did, you know, being in that position of being on an executive board, to where it was like you see you trying to piece yourself, you know, apart, but still bring it all together at the same time. You know what I'm saying? So
that was the thing, bring it all together. I might be standing in children's church. No, I'm not one of the children's church workers, but I'm back here and I'm shaking kids down because I would joke with them. And where your money at? Where your offering at?
Right.
You need to put something in the bucket. And they four. They like, what?
Right.
But they, you know, they laugh it out and they got used to seeing me in those spaces. And I might run into the mother's room. You know what I'm saying? Like, what y'all doing in here?
Yeah.
What y'all seasoned young ladies doing in this room? Man, y'all better not be in here plotting to take over. Y'all need to get in there and cook something. Why you know, of course they're gonna stir the pot a little bit. Cook something. What you, I hope you cooking. But you know, it's just certain. I might jump around to passing them thing. I'm not gonna pass the door, man. You know that, hey man, you need to get a Xbox in here or something, PlayStation, something, man. You got this nice spot, you ain't got this in here.
When they told him they wanted him to be over team ministry, he's like, nah, I'm gonna shut it down. It couldn't be me, because y'all all be, we ain't had no team ministry.
Well, and because I was seeing something in Rag, and I'm seeing something, this could be a multi-head thing, man, because they need to see somebody. Pastor Moss was our first one. You know what I'm saying? They need to see somebody that's going through what you going through.
Right.
The rail was great for it because they connecting to, hey, they see where you at. You still close enough to it. You ain't that far removed that you know what I'm experiencing, what I'm going through. Because I'm asking somebody older and they saying, you need to stay faithful. You need to sit down. You need to do this and get yourself together. No, man, that ain't what I'm dealing with, man. This John over here, man, trying to
get up on.
You know what I'm saying? I had a chick down the street. We moved in Barton, man. Chick trying to get me in our house every day. Every day.
Not every day.
Hey, come through the snow bunny too. Like, hey, you gonna come? But one, I'm thinking was somewhere else with that for one. But two, that what I was like. No, man, that's a bad move right there. And that's a bad move, but not for some others. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I did my thing. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But the shakedown was selective. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
What I
the shakedown.
What I had a taste for, basically. You know what I'm saying? And that wasn't it. So, but.
I brought up all that even when I was talking about, Bellevue and stuff like that, because I think that kind of ties into CRT and it's like systematic kind of racism. You know what I'm saying? Just because of, like I said, I ain't even saying I got it all together as far as, but to me, where I'm at now, to me, I felt my hand was forced to do what we had to do because of the situation with the pandemic and COVID and stuff like that. Now,
you pivoted to another thing again. You was thinking. You had your dad had on like, hey man, I need them to get something. I need them to get fed. I need them in that mode or
in a social environment.
That social environment. Also that I don't know. You go because that's what you used to.
Right.
You used to doing this. Now I need to get them in that pattern.
Right.
You used to. I don't care where you go or how old you get.
Right.
You still remember mama kicking that door, man. We going to church.
Get up.
Get up.
Let's go.
All night is all right, but We going to church. I don't care if you just slept an hour or 2 minutes.
Yeah.
But we finna go to church. It wasn't about, even I don't think she cared if you finna go in there and listen.
Right.
It was the motion, the action of getting up, finna get yourself together. And you finna get to this church, man, and you finna.
But you know, I heard somebody say, like, discipline is when you do something that you don't necessarily want to do.
That's it.
Or like to do, but you do it as if you want to or like to. Even though in here, you may be like, man, I can't stand it, but you're doing it as if like, man, ooh, we about to go. Like that. That's the discipline. Like,
it's a, you know what I'm saying? I become an adult, but then we talk about that too, that disconnect, that 20 to 25 disconnect with youth and church, because they've been going for so long, and then they done got out of the practice
and lived
of going and lived, and like, I kind of don't feel like going. I ain't got to, and nobody gonna make me. So, but you gonna promise you gonna come back to it. You got to. You get some kids. It's like, oh man, I ain't just thinking about me. No, I don't feel like getting up. They was up all night and they was doing this, but we finna go because I'm finna pack these kids. I'm finna go get this because I need y'all to get this.
So, like, I had a thought, like, so because we're all from, and even Crown, we're all from like the same space, and so you don't have to answer this if you don't want to. Do you think that like that disconnect, as far as like where we was at, was necessarily just because we had been doing it for so long and that now we see something different and we want something different? Or because I know like a lot, and JB maybe can attest to this, like a lot of people that we were, you know, close to, it wasn't so much that that's what we were used to, but it was almost like not feeling like we had a place. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, well, you just come, but like, if you really want to do something or be involved, it wasn't anything for you to do.
Right.
And so now you get to a point to where now it's not just a routine. Like, okay, I want to do, like, it's in me. Right. I want to do something, but it's nothing for me to do. And so then now you're going, let me go somewhere where I can actually be involved and be a part of it and do something.
Right. And I've experienced that with a few members and having that conversation. Where they ain't letting me do this, so I'm gonna go over here and do it.
A lot of people were like that.
A lot of people. I heard from a lot of people that felt like that. Well, I can't do this, or this, and I've tried to explain the business of church.
Yeah. And that's tough, though.
Yeah, it's tough.
That's tough,
so
bro.
Trying to explain it and trying to also explain what, and trying to figure out, okay, what are you trying to do? You can do it. It's in the confines of, this is the platform. This is the script.
Right.
If what you're trying to do fits in this script, we're good. But if you're getting off script, not that you can't get off script,
right,
but you need to do this script first. Then,
when you show that you're faithful in this area,
then
this conversation get deep right here, bro.
That'll go.
We can go deep with this one because I got
if that's what you're trying to do, then
and he's sitting in here,
and you gonna
we had this conversation when he wasn't here. He's sitting in here.
Work within this, and then create it from here, because it may require some convincing or some, I don't know, you're gonna have to present the business plan, basically.
I mean, basically, from what we're talking about, and just like you presented what you were trying to move away from when you were on the executive board,
right?
You mentioned the word cliques,
right?
And so, even in that environment, there were cliques where people felt that. I mean, just truth be told, this is nothing. Nobody didn't know. Maybe you didn't know, but you know, even from my pops past, you know, he stopped going for similar reasons. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because of a lot was, you know, kind of going on. Right.
My parents don't go there.
It was clique. It was cliques to where you didn't feel comfortable that you could, you know, be free or, you know, do what basically God, you know, called you to do or tell you to do. You know what I'm saying? And so, but you know what I'm saying? I think even now, I think that same space, they're living and learning.
Right.
They're reaching out. We talked even before the camera, who reached out and trying to, you know, Pastor Moss been reaching out to me over the last, you know, year or two, you know, and I've, you know, been very open and candid about certain things that, you know what I'm saying, that I had a cause to pause about, and certain things that I probably just ain't gonna do.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And you know, but you live and you learn, but then you know you gotta ask the question, could it be too late to, you know what I'm saying, put down, you know, certain things? I mean, just keep it a buck, man. I ain't even gonna, you know what I'm saying? We went to a holiness church. You know, I go to a holiness church. And so how that was communicated, you know what I'm saying, on down through the years can get confusing for, just like you said, depending on what stage of life that you're in.
The standard was set.
Yeah.
And so
it was there.
The expectation was to adhere to the standards.
Right.
So I get it.
And so that, you know, amongst like some other things can, you know, kind of even be shaky, because for me personally, I got offended a lot over the years when I saw other people, which I feel I'm in that vein now, they left there to go to a white church.
Right.
And I'm, you know, I'm
and you left
right. And right. But I'm scratching my head. I'm like, why? Like, well, like I'm literally asking these people. Right. Like I'm having conversations with them.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm just like, you know what I'm saying? Why is that? You know what I'm saying? I had, you know, different responses and stuff like that. But it was like, you know, and so, but now I feel the tables have turned to a degree, but I feel I'm in a special situation given the times and all this stuff like that. Right. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just like, you know, I get it, you know, to a degree, but what y'all think about that, man? Because I can keep going.
Like, and not even to double back, because I know we've had that conversation. We got several people that we close to that I had that conversation with.
Yep.
But like, you know, and you kind of touched on it briefly, but like where I was at, it's like I wasn't necessarily looking for a position or anything like that. You know what I'm saying? Like I wasn't aspiring for, oh, I got to get this, but you kind of gassed me up into thinking like, man, you can get this. Yeah, you know, we want you here. You're who we want. And then everything that you're supposed to do, like the checklist. I did everything you're supposed to do. Oh, you've been in this ministry for, oh, I did that. Oh, you went to seminary. Oh, you did that. You went to art stuff. I did all that. Right. You've been faithful. You said, oh, I did all that. Check, check, check. You got the old heads vouching for you. Check, check, check. At the time, you know, he was on the board at that time.
Right.
He was somebody who I didn't know until after the fact was speaking up for me. You know what I'm saying? And not only did he tell me, but like I said, like talking to other people, like, oh man, you know, man, Jeremy spoke very highly. He was like, he will be a person who can stand next to you, like, watch you, help you be in this position. Right. He'll have your back in that. You know what I'm saying? And then so like to get in that, to feel like, okay, you know what? I didn't know that this was something I wanted, but I think I could do this. Mm-hmm. And then, you know, you go to, and so for me, like I didn't go to a white church per se, or predominantly white church per se.
Wow.
Even though that's when I went to seminary, like that's who I was around. Like that's who I was around. Yeah. But you know what I'm saying? Like I kind of stepped back, and so like that offense, like you know that your pops felt. You know, like and imagine my pops. He's still there. His whole family. You know, for a minute wasn't going there until I came back. And when the Sunday I saw you back, I'm there. I'm sitting. I look. I'm like, is that mom? Said like she's sitting up. Like when mom started coming back, like because like since 2009, and this is 2022 at the beginning of the year. 2009, from 2009 to 2022, she had been going to another church because when my grandmother, she dipped.
Right.
So like my dad was the only one. You know what I'm saying? Like Paco, he backing me. Like Paco doing what he doing. You know, John Bird come back to Memphis. Bird don't even visit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And so I feel you on that because, and I don't want to say nobody's name on here. I know people watching, but like certain homeboys that we got that may or may not be Cowboys fans, like when they went, I had to act like, what's up?
Right.
But so on the one hand, we feel that whole. We want the unity. We want to support each other. We want to be together. We need that. We can identify with each other. On the other hand, it's a sense of being burned maybe by your own folks.
And that hurts more.
Right. But then it's a denial thing because, like how you said, you looked on it because I was gonna say something to you about that. I'm like, man, why you boost this post? Because I'm looking at all the and I wanted, but I don't be responding to the comments.
I didn't either. Really.
But I'm like, you racist motherfucker! Like, and you didn't watch the video because when I saw you posting, I'm like, you were saying Juwan should have been suspended and that he was wrong for wreck. So I'm like, if they had to watch the video, all of that vitriol that they had for the title of white privilege, they'd have been like, oh, this JB is amazing. We need more like him. He said that nigga should have been suspended. Go JB. They didn't watch the video.
No, they put monkeys.
They put monkeys, elephant, we gonna show you the comment, nigga, because I was like, Slick was at work. I'm picking up from dealers and I'm thinking of how can we post these people's pictures without us catching any lawsuits? You know what I'm saying? Like, cause for real, like I'm at work, like I'm real live delivering people's mail, like, get these motherfuckers. Like, cause you know I don't respond, but I know your heart. And you know I don't respond for that reason, but I'm like, I'm gonna kick somebody's ass, JB.
Right.
Even though you gonna pray, I'm gonna make them pay. That's how it works. That's the dynamic.
That's our combo. Oh, you see that?
You know what I'm saying?
That's gonna be our combo.
Even though, and that's why I don't respond because I know how I get. But then when you say, and I was thinking like, and maybe it was Holy Spirit that put that in my heart. I'm like, I bet if I look at these people's pictures, they gonna have. And when you and I didn't, and I'm telling like, we did not talk about this before we recorded. But you said when you looked at some of these people's pictures, they talking about Christian, I believe, and that's why I stopped. You remember when I was doing my when I was doing my car chronicles, right? Like when the George Floyd situation happened, like that's when I stopped. And I said this before, I've seen my dad tear up 2 times in my whole life. One of the times that I've seen him tear up, and one of the times he was talking about a situation that happened back in the day when we was living in Virginia and everything like that. The other time he was talking about how, and it was when the George Floyd situation happened. And he was talking about, now keep in mind, like Pop's been in ministry for a long time. So you know, like Oral Roberts, Ken Hagen, all the old school people that like Doc Holloway that they know, met them, sat down with them, was in tears talking about how it's not right. How can you sit up there and see that and you don't say anything on your pulpit or your platform? And you let these people come and you got black people in your congregation that are partners with you to tie, and you do not speak out against the injustice. And as he was saying it, and it did something to me. Because you know, like my dad a strong dude. So, and that's the only time, nigga, I broke my wrist. And that man said, that's what you get for being disobedient. He was like, if you would have had your coat on, you wouldn't have broke your wrist. That's why you need to obey. Didn't see him cry. Saw my brother get, coach give him a hard time. He didn't cry. But he talking about the injustice in the way people in faith don't do that.
And that's because there's people he done sat with, we done talked with, we done
broke bread with.
You said you believe this.
Right.
But you did this. And again, sometimes, a lot of times, what they believe go to this point.
Right.
When I say their Christianity belief goes only so far.
Right.
Until you step into this realm, that's for everybody else, not you.
Right. Yeah. Because you don't want to offend your granddaddy or your uncle at the barbecue.
It don't extend to you. It doesn't apply to you.
Yeah.
And that's where my understanding comes for dealing with other races. And again, I'm here until I see or I know otherwise.
But you got to know who you are, because I know several do, especially black folks, have left the faith because they don't know how to deal with. But just like I'm answering that because where I'm at now, you know what I'm saying? Because
I know black people that would have done the same thing. That wouldn't speak up on this or wouldn't speak on that or allow this and it's not that. It's not that bad. Or they probably didn't mean that, or they didn't do this, or they did. And you didn't even. You condoned it and you rolled with it for whatever reason.
Yep.
You know, that's just where you at, and that's cool.
Dude,
I'm watching you too.
Yeah. Right. the last video I did, and I talked about this, and it was after a conversation with my pops, and I'm like, I remember when I was in seminary, and I'm in the car with 4 white dudes, or, you know, it'd be 3 dudes and a chick. They pull over, I'm in the back, because, you know, at the time I have a car. They asking everybody, are they all right? And they're looking like they didn't know what to say to me, because they know what it is, even though they didn't know they knew the only reason we got pulled over because we got a nigga in the back seat. And we just some Bible college kids. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't tell you how many times we doing some outreach or something, and I'm walking with my people, they start, oh, what you doing? I'm with them. We here to do ministry for you, and they're stopping me. And the people that I'm with are looking at me like that. And so all of that was held in, you know, like I said, when my pops was telling me that, you start thinking about all that, and it's like, damn. Yep. And so, like, to JB's point, you see people leave the faith, and like, why that ain't me, man, I understand.
Yeah.
Because I felt that.
Frustrating, bro.
You know what I'm saying? And then, so where are you when, on the one hand, you with your own folks, you see some hypocrisy or maybe some stuff we need to sit down and talk about, but then you see the other folks, like, where do you go? So you either got to roll the dice and pick one, or walk away.
Because honestly, if you have some type of hurt, let's say in an all black church, are you going to intentionally go to another whole black church again? Right. For the most part, generally, it's different. But
most of the time, you don't.
Yeah, what you think about that, Jay? It's a lot. I know we said a lot. It's a lot.
I'm gonna touch the whole leaving and attend a white church again. That's anybody's prerogative, man. That wherever you feel comfortable, wherever you think that's where you're gonna be fed, that's what you do. My thing with the breath, and I look at everybody that's left, and then what's left now. I'm still I've still got to take a standpoint of we'll get more done collectively, and I hate to see people leave for it. I never get into you left, why you left, why you. I don't get into that. If you want me to know that, you'll sit down, share. And those that have sat down and say, hey man, I'm out because of X, Y, and Z. Right. Family members that have left, they left for their own reason. Again, frankly, it ain't nobody's business. Right. Why you left. That's between you, and if you wanted to share that with pastor or leadership, that's on you. But I do look at what if we all there? What if we all stayed and fixed what the shortcomings are of the organization?
Amazing.
And try to, where would we be?
That's the answer.
You know what I'm saying? We all stayed, or we all came and looked at it, because quite frankly, it's an old church, man. It's an old church.
And so, and I get,
everybody getting older,
and it shouldn't be.
It's going to, this top tier going to fall off. What's up underneath is what's going to take us through the next stage of this. Because
20, 30 years,
frankly, they can't stay in a position and do what they doing.
They're waiting on Brown, but he won't act right.
You know what I'm saying? Exactly.
What do you say, Big? Say what?
You supposed to be what? I'm not on trial here. I'm not on trial here.
It's gonna come a time that unfortunately that we all gonna be called on. Yeah. It's just what it is, because we're attached to it. That's as real as I can put it.
Yeah.
That at some point the seeds of BOLCC don't get called upon, man. That's real. I don't care where you at or what stage of life you at. It's inevitable. That is going to happen. Right. As everybody matures out, that's what's gonna happen, and you're gonna call your number. Somebody gonna have to answer the call. Right. It's just who gonna do it, we don't know. And so, but I would like to see everybody come back and say, hey man, let's sit down and let's figure out and let's plug these holes, and make this thing what we would want it to look like. I know it's been run by this top tier conglomerate because that's their baby. They made it. You know what I'm saying? Same thing with Jay Purtle chicken, man. Hey, I'm just gonna use that as an example.
Yeah.
Jay Purtle came up with a formula, man. They probably ain't but a handful of people that know the formula.
Yeah.
Just what it is. And the formula lives with whoever he leave it, and they give him the key. Whoever he gave the keys to, they got the formula. And it's up to them. They won't keep it going. They might wake up one day and say, you know what? Man, I don't care nothing about this. I ain't putting no energy in this, man. Jack Purtle dead right then. Boop. Ain't no more Jack Purtle.
That was an interesting segue. What is it, like your mother-in-law or somebody you related to?
That used to work, yeah.
It was like one of the first.
They used to work there with him, and
okay.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. This man is historical.
They can whip that joint up just like.
Man, he could go get the biscuits like nothing. Like he get that
the stuff, man, like the folks. But I mean, it just the keys gonna land in somebody's hand at some point, and it's what we do with it. What the next generation gonna do with them keys?
They need a town hall.
Crown.
I mean, definitely, and that, you know what? Based on the, I ain't gonna get into that, but you can request a town hall. Basically,
I know I could.
Sit down and say, "Hey,
I
man,
could."
And I'm, you know what? I'm for that. Everybody that's gone, come back.
But it's about if everybody would be a part of it. The people that we talking about, recent and past,
they would have to want to be a part of it and say. But also, I'm gonna say this: if you come in with that you want a town hall, I want to do this. Be specific in what your ask is and what you plan to do. This is my plan for this particular area. This is my plan for this particular area. This is my plan for this area. Not come in and start, man, you ain't do this right.
Start pointing.
You ain't run that right. That was messed up. You should have did this better.
But
this right here,
I do think that should be a part of it though too, to get that out, because you have to, in order to mend things and get things, it needs to be some friction, because
I mean that's what it's gonna be.
They got to get it off their chest.
Because that keeps everybody accountable.
It's gonna be. I felt like this. This is why I'm doing it, because I felt like this right here, and so. And because I feel like this, I need you to address this part of it. Yeah, we could do that. Maybe not in that form.
Right, not everybody gonna
throwing their tomatoes.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And so, but that meeting's gonna have to be something where we sit down collectively and say, hey, this is what we want to, and this is my contribution to move this thing forward. And that's kind of where we're gonna have to be. I ain't saying everybody come in and say, well, forget the past, forget my hurt, and let's start from right here. No,
what you just said, like that's what the other side of the CRT stuff doing. They're saying, forget the past, let's just move forward for what we doing. You know what I'm saying?
And I'm not saying that. Don't forget, we still got to deal with this hurt. Otherwise, it's gonna be lingering. It's gonna come out at the wrong time.
Yeah.
Then we're gonna have another problem. And so that the hurt has to be addressed. We got to figure out how do we address that part of it. But then after that, we done with it. So like you had that discussion with your old lady. Hey man, we done with this, or we still feel to be battling about me hitting the like button, man. Yeah, I hit the like button, man. I saw something, man. I hit the like button. Now we
hit the light.
Now we still here. We good. So that's what's gonna have to happen. That conversation let's get it out. We good. We good.
Well, not even that conflict as well, but then also of the part of the mountain that's never wrong. They've never did nothing wrong.
But you gotta own it. Own
right, and that's the part.
That's part of the addressing the hurt. Hey man, I'm wrong. Let's fix this and let's move on. And so that's gonna take that's gonna take and I'm all for being the bigger person until I don't want to be the bigger person.
Right.
And so I had to deal with that a lot with employees and those type of things. I've been told you need to be a bigger person. Not today.
It's a line.
I was yesterday.
It's a line.
When I was being reasonable yesterday. Yep. Today I'm no longer.
You ain't negotiating with terrorists.
Not gonna ever negotiate with terrorists.
See what I'm saying?
I said what I said, and that's where I'm at. But I address If you felt this way, and that's the first thing I go with. Where did I wrong you? I tell employees this all the time. Where did I wrong you, first of all? And explain to me where I wronged you. If I wronged you, I'm going to be the first one to apologize, and then 2, offer restitution for it. And so that's the issue with CRT. You don't want to admit the wrong and then offer restitution to it so we can move on. That's why we ain't got past racism and slavery and all this stuff. Address it. Yeah. Then let's fix it. Now we can move on, because I got to be restored. You got a 500-year head start. I got to be restored because of that. You don't want to restore me. You want to just move on. Yeah. Can't. So same thing. We got to sit down, address these issues, figure out what the problem is, say I'm sorry, hug it out if that's what you want, and then we move on with some action.
Right, because most people just in conversation, like, they just want to hear like, bro, like, I was wrong. Like, I don't want to spiritualize it or put anything on top of what I was like, bro. Like, that was just.
Man, listen, man, you cheated. You know what I'm saying? You cheated on a gal. I'm telling you what's gonna happen, man. You got to listen to this. You're gonna have to listen to. This is what you did. Why you do it? Man, I just cheated, man. It's over with, man. I'm done with it, man. I said I'm sorry. We moved on. After that, but no, you're gonna have to sit here and listen to this. You're gonna have to listen to why I'm hurt. How'd you hurt me? Why you hurt me?
How it affected me.
Yep. How you plan to not do this no more? How we plan to get past this? You see all that go with it. That's what everybody want to skip. Yep. We can't skip that part. America, we can't skip that.
Nigga, I think if you have a town hall, like, you don't necessarily need everybody, but if certain people come back, because people are naturally followers, if certain people come back and they see, like, oh, snap, JB done came back, people are going to jump on that, oh, snap, Crown done came. Well, Crown ain't that, but you know what I'm saying?
You make the invitation.
And that will bring people in. So I just think if we
say, hey, man, I understand that we got an issue.
Right.
Let's talk.
Yeah.
I understand it was an issue. Let's talk. Big, I understand we had a beef on something, man. Hey, man, let's talk. That's what men do. I pull them to the side. I don't need no audience. That's what I do with other folk. Somebody say, man, this song, man, this suck off this, and da-da-da-da. Big, I ain't got to go rag, man. Let's go over here. I need to holler at dude. I don't need rag. Go holler at nobody. Man, let me go over here. Hey, player. Hey, let me holler at you for a second. Now, you said X, Y, and Z. What happened? How do we get here? How we get right here?
Yeah.
And what if if somebody you feel like I done smashed your girl, or this happened, then let's sit down and talk through it. But let's figure out what the problem is. Let's hash this out before all these other folk get involved. We got half the issues we got with shootings and all this other stuff in Memphis and our communities because somebody else got involved. It don't even require all that. I ain't beefing with all 20 of y'all. I'm beefing with him.
Yeah.
My issue with him, not these other people behind you. My problem with him. That's where I grew up at. I grew up in somebody come knock on your door, man. If it's a problem, hey, I need to see so-and-so out here.
Yeah.
And your mama number, man, you need to get outside and see what that is. That mama, auntie, this is real.
Yeah.
Or if they came over there and they was in it, hey man, you need to go out there and handle that. Go on outside. Now I'm gonna stay in the house. You a lie. You ain't finna stay in the house.
Right.
We ain't raised no hoe. So you finna get outside and handle whatever it is, whether it's good, whether you got whooped or you whooped. That's what it is. And I ain't sitting on here saying I won every fight.
Right.
But I fought.
But you got it in.
And I ain't got to fight no more.
Right.
And then we move on.
I just like that he said they ain't raised no hoe. I'm good.
That's just
I'm straight.
That's just how it is. But right now, that's not the climate right now. There ain't nobody doing it. They pull up. I'm gonna pull up with the. Man, I got the heaters, man. I got the hammer.
Right.
Draco, Stendo.
I got to do all. Oh man, that ain't even you a man. Go
square up.
Square up, man. Holler at them, whether you win or not. Yeah. You went in, you handled it. Then there's the end of it.
Walk away.
You walked away. And
I limp away. What
Craig Daddy saying Friday. We won or we lost.
Yeah,
but we won with these.
You make that call and go just holler at them. If it's a problem, I ain't got no problem pulling up, calling. If people know me, I heard such and such, heard. I ain't got to ask nobody. I'm going to the, hold on a second. I call partners of mine. Hey, player. Hey,
Right.
man, so said this. Oh no, J Mac, that ain't none of this, man. Some folk I done went to their house.
Right.
Knocked on. I'm talking about this reason the last couple years.
Right.
Hey man, did I wrong you some kind of way? Did I do
Right.
X, Y, and Z? Oh no, man, I ain't say that. I ain't do that. We ain't do this, do that. We cool. How about?
Right.
We dab up and we come on out. That's the end of it.
And
I ain't
that's
never
me.
spoke. I ain't had to speak on it no more.
Right.
Cause that's it. I'm done. I'm done with it. You said what you said. I said what I said. If it's a real problem,
Right.
if you really got some beef,
Right.
it's a real issue. Hey man, let me holler at you. Let's step out here right quick. I
Right.
don't need to go get no group. Hey man, I'm about to go do. I'm about to go see
Right.
so and so. I don't need no audience.
Yeah.
I ain't even calling my. Hey, I ain't calling my. Shout out to K Rio, Pastor Corey down there in Homestead, Florida.
Oh,
Also, shout out my
really?
little brother,
Yeah.
Coach Sanders over at ECS. And so I ain't
Yeah.
going to get them. Hey, bro, we need to go see them. I ain't going to see nobody.
Right.
You stay where you at. Y'all will hear about it when it's over with.
Right.
And that's where I'm from. That's what
Yeah.
happens.
And that's correct. Cool. We cut pretty much from the same cloth because that's me all the way. Like if I have an issue,
Yeah,
I'm gonna talk to you about it. However uncomfortable it is or whatever.
what it is.
I'm gonna come to you, and it's
I
not
ain't got to tell 13 other people
Right.
before I came to you. Man, you know JB, man, I got to see JB. Man, I got to see him. I got to holler at him. I got to see this guy. I got to see what's going on.
Yeah.
No, I don't. I ain't got to do that. That's between me and you.
right. Yeah.
Now I got all these folks fired up. Man, you right. That man a sucker. You right. He a sucker. You
That's
need
all
to go.
that chitter chatter come
all
with
this.
the rumors and
Oh,
You know what I'm
I don't
saying?
need that. I don't
Yeah.
need that.
yeah.
I got a problem. Hey, let's talk over here for a minute. I don't care where you at. You can be the babysitter, the nursery, with Gus's chicken.
Yeah.
I don't care where you at. If I saw you and I see
Gus's?
You gotta bring Gus.
we got to talk about it. I
Yeah.
don't care where you at. I don't know where you standing at. You could be standing in the choir stand. I
Yeah.
need to holler at you, man. You don't be in the audit.
Yeah.
Holler at you, man. Holler at you right quick. Hey, come here for a
I
second.
have the issue, like even, but that stuff working like the street, but like it's gone. Oh Lord. Okay, so even that's gone with the net, y'all. But Jay Sanders, bro, it has been more. Yeah, we strictly we on audio now, so it's all we gonna plug it up. So y'all, till next time, continue with that executive mindset.
Most definitely keep presidential. Arrivederci.
Salute. Bow.
Salute.